Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we have started on what we call limited skirt access. This is a pond on our lifetime lease farm. Yeah, they call it Grammy's Pond. And it's always been a pond that's been kind of choked by a lot of brush and cedars and just a bunch of worthless trees. And what we did is we went and tied ribbons around the trees we wanted to keep. And most of them were, 2 to 3 inch diameter, little bitty ones, and just thick, thick, thick. I mean, you couldn't walk through it. And so Johnny came in here with his skid loader and actually rooted those up. And we're getting ready to, we're gonna seed it and we're gonna hay it down with our Greg Judy bale unroller here in a little bit. We got snow coming on Thursday, they say, and this is Tuesday. Anyway, Johnny's taking all this brush. And that skid steer, boy, it is quick. He's got a heck of a rabbit-tat started down in here. Somebody asked me a while ago, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to burn it? And, if you burn it, you're going to kill a bunch of trees in here. So I'm thinking we'll just leave it and let the bunnies and the other critters make a home in there. Mice and you name it. But you can see the quality of those trees. It was all really, really small stuff. 2 to 3 inch. There's a couple here on the side that were maybe 6 inch, and I might cut a few mushroom logs out of some of those if they're not scarred up too bad. But he's really, really moved a lot of brush. I did a picture before this started, and well, there's just solid brush in there. Anyway, what we're doing, this pond has a seep on the very back, and it seeps all the time, but it never goes down very much. So it's got to have a spring in here feeding it. So with that big seep going down the back of that gully down there, you can't get a tank in there. It'd be a mud pit. And the owner, I talked with him about it, and the cows always drink right here from the pond. And we run a wire around it. Well, when it's really muddy, they chew it up, and we sure don't want them on the dam trying to drink off that dam. So what I'm doing, I'm going to have Johnny come in here to skid steer it. We've got it marked with these sticks. That's what was it? I measured that. 16 feet by 9 feet. And I'm looking at the pile of rock I've got up here. I think I'm gonna make it maybe 20 feet wide by 9 feet. So what it's gonna do is Johnny's gonna dig down here about 2 foot deep in this bank. And we're going to put that down as a base. So that's 6 to 8 inch rock up there. And he's going to transfer that into this hole. And I've actually got another pond we're doing it with up by the road. So that's just half a load. So he had 24 ton on. He dumped 12 here. And he dumped 12 up by the other pond, which doesn't have a pipe or anything in it. It's a really old pond, but it's a good pond. And it's got good water in it. Again, we don't want the cattle mucking up our ponds. And so the rock is going to extend. So Johnny is going to dig this down from that stick over to this stick. He's going to go down about 2 feet deep. And then we're going to put down geotextile fabric on the base. And then Johnny's going to take that rock and a skid loader and just dump it right on top of that geotextile all the way out into that pond. And so we're going to have rock that the cattle can stand on when they drink. And the other thing we're going to do is once that big rock is put down, of course, you don't want cattle walking on that. That's just the base. But there's enough rock up there we can get it about 1 foot deep. Maybe, I don't know, there's quite a bit of rock that we might go 1.5 feet. We're going to put a load of 2 inch, what we call like finish rock over the top of it. So that'll be our fines, what we call our fines. And there's Ben and Isaac like clockwork. They've got the cedar and I've got the seed. We're going to start working on this area right here that Johnny's already cleared all the brush off of. So we're going to get some seed put down. We're going to put some hay down. And that way, if it rains, we don't lose any dirt. We sure don't want any dirt washing into this beautiful pond. This pond was built in 2000, around 2001. I think it was about the 3rd pond that Steve and Cindy built. And again, I can't say enough about Steve and Cindy, our lifetime lease owners. They did this, because we didn't have any water back here for the livestock. And they paid for that pond. And back in those days, let me tell you what, things were lean on Judy Farms. And I just got through a really tough patch in my life, and this wonderful couple from Dallas came in and said, you know, you need water. Steve's a maniac, you know, he loves this farm, and Cindy does too. And anyway, thank you, Steve and Cindy. And now we're giving back a little bit. We're going to put a really nice skirt in here, and the cattle will be able to walk on rock. And then there's going to be a 2-inch PVC pipe apron going out into there. It's going to be like a C shape, and it's going to have a high tensile wire fastened over the top of it, electrified. So this whole pond will have a permanent wire around it. And so as the pond drops with drought, that skirt will follow the water up and down. And so the animals will still be able to get a drink of water. They just physically can't get in the water. So the more I'm looking at this, you know, we got 370 head. I'm going to go with a 20-foot skirt. Another 4 foot. We've got tons of rock up there to do it.
That's some good looking silvopasture.
You look like a mountain goat up there, Isaac.
I'm not as short as one.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeding this in a little bit, and Johnny's going to be digging us a hole right here, and we're going to get the geotextile ready, and we're going to hopefully have this all done, and we're going to show the complete setup step by step as we go. So this is the first step. We've got it laid out. We've got our base. Johnny's going to be digging a hole here in probably an hour, and then from there we put the textile down, we put the base, and then the finish rock, which would be the 2-inch, goes on top. And then Isaac and Ben and I will build the skirt that goes out onto the pond. It keeps the cattle in the watering access area. So this is called a limited skirt access area to a pond. There are designs on the internet. I tried, I Googled, I couldn't find one. But the NRCS, I know they have one. I've seen it. But I've seen enough of them, I kind of know how to do it. And we're going to put down the fabric, though. The fabric just keeps the rock from going anywhere. We learned that a long time ago. If you have rock already down on the ground, you cannot put fabric down, because it'll just grind right through the fabric, because you got rock on the bottom, you got rock on the top, and it's kind of like grinding flour. It's just going to chew your fabric all to pieces. But here we just got bare clay. That fabric's actually going to work pretty good in here. So this is going to look a little different, isn't it, guys?
Yeah,
a bit. It already does.
It already looks totally different.
Remember that ridge over there yesterday, guys?
Yeah.
I bet there was
those trees.
There was 1,000 trees just like that little one over there.
You think there probably was?
Yeah.
It was like 1,000 stems per acre, probably, something like that.
They weren't growing very fast, were they?
No.
So we've got some trees in here, folks, that we've already eyeballing. They're way too thick up in there. Those trees need to be thinned out to make the ones remaining grow better and be healthier. Here's 3 growing together right there in a triangle. All 3 of those have got dead all over them. They've almost died. They just strangled themselves. There's not enough nutrients in that one spot to support 3 trees. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 dead. There's 8 trees here in one row, one area. There you can see that one's got a dead spot in it. It's almost dead all the way up. It needs to be taken out. So we've got a lot of firewood in here. Tons of firewood. And guess what's up in the top?